Honda has been the world's largest motorcycle manufacturer since 1959. And today it's one of the 5 biggest automobile manufacturing companies in the world. But it all started with a poor little boy's obsession with machines in his father's repair shop. In 1906, a boy named Soichiro Honda was born in a small village named Kamoyo. But little did the world know that this poor child was going to change automobile history for the whole world. Soichiro Honda's dad was a proud owner of a bicycle repair shop, and his mom was a housewife and a part-time weaver. They were extremely poor. And these poor living conditions led the family to many tragedies. One was losing their 5 children to these poor conditions. Honda, like many influential people, was a below-average student at school. He was so bad at school that he often failed his exams, but he wasn't stupid. Honda used to hide his bad grades from his parents by using a family seal that he made for himself to avoid teachers and parents from interacting with each other. Unfortunately, he was caught. But instead of being angry at what he had done, his father was angry that he had been sloppy enough to get caught. This little boy was not a bookworm, but he believed in pure raw skills. He was deeply fascinated by machinery and engineering. His love for bicycles stemmed when he was only a toddler and saw a Ford Model T for the first time. He chased that car as far as he could. And little did he know that in the coming years, this curiosity would become his lifelong passion and his obsession. When he was only 15 years old, Honda moved to Tokyo to pursue his dreams and to refine his skills even more. He applied as an assistant in a car service company named Rejection, and was looking for apprenticeships, and he got accepted. Initially, the work was not what he'd imagined. In fact, for the first few days, all he did was sweep floors, make dinners, and even babysit his boss's kids. But he did not lose hope and worked hard. Fate stepped in, and Tokyo was hit by a devastating earthquake that almost destroyed Japan's economy. But this was an opportunity for Honda. As the company was understaffed, Honda was given the first chance to practice his skills as a mechanic. He expanded his knowledge, and alongside repairs, he started designing spare parts. Working at Rejection, he met the perfect mentor named Yuzo, who helped him use his knowledge to work and think out of the box. Yuzo was one of the shareholders of the company, the man who was responsible to show Honda how to trade. And this changed Honda's life completely. In 1937, Honda invested his saved money into a business and founded a factory in Takesaki. This factory used to produce pistons for Toyota, and he worked insanely hard for the next few years. Honda was working as a mechanic during the day and took evening classes to complete his studies on engineering. Even at night, he gave up on sleeping and instead worked on piston designs. Years later, after World War II, in 1949, he came up with a revolutionary idea for a motorized bicycle, laying the foundations for what was to be the beginning of Honda Motors Corporation. Soichiro Honda once said, "The day I stop dreaming is the day I die." For Honda, success and dedication was everything. And with the foundation for Honda Motor being set, Honda was about to show the world what he can do. Honda Motors has been one of the most successful automobile manufacturing companies, but the success of Honda wasn't just luck. Rather, it was because of the sheer dedication Soichiro had. He was able to solve problems and remain resilient against any odds that were thrown at him. There was a list of smart strategies that contributed to the instant hit of Honda Motors in Japan. Soichiro later teamed up with a business partner named Takeo Fujisawa, who wasn't only an investor in the company, but also an exceptional business operator and strategist. Everything was aligning for Honda, and now Honda could focus on the product quality. The first motorbike that Honda came up with was a D-Type, but it was way too bulky for the customer's taste. Honda again released another motorbike that caught the eyes of the customers from all around the country. The Super Cub, which was lighter, safer, and smaller. With this new product released, Honda was rolling in Japan. But this wasn't enough. He wanted more. Therefore, he decided to go and challenge the international market. Soichiro came up with the smartest strategy, working like a charm. In the US, the stereotypical image of a motorcyclist was a rough and tough look. But Honda wanted to change the narrative about motorcycles through his smart advertisement with the slogan of, "You meet the nicest people on a Honda." This fit perfectly with the lightweight design, encouraging younger people and families to break away from previous stereotypes, and thus opening up a whole new market for motorcycles. And with that smart advertisement, small lightweight motorcycles were scooting all over American roads, and Honda sold his motorcycles every day in the US market. After huge success with the Soichiro Honda motorcycle, it was time to fulfill his childhood dream of making an affordable quality car so people like him, from a humble background, could experience this luxury. Despite the hardships, as a risk taker, Honda came up with a new eco-friendly and fuel-efficient compound vortex controlled combustion engine. And by 1972, Honda came up with a car named Honda Civic, the first car to use this new CVCC engine. It was the perfect solution to the oil crisis of 1973. All in all, Soichiro's commitment to the quality and convenience of his products, as well as his smart strategies and successful advertising, contributed significantly to Honda's success. After the death of Soichiro Honda in 1991, Honda was struck by a series of challenges. Honda Motors was outpaced by its competitors, but the CEO, Kawamoto, took necessary steps to rebrand the company. He transformed its corporate culture and resolved Honda's resources towards market-driven product design and development. He even ended the company's participation in the Formula One after the 1992 season in order to foster a more environmentally friendly image of Honda's cars. The market-driven products led to refocusing away from the models which weren't popular with the public, in turn leading to the development of successful models such as first-generation Odyssey and CR-V. In 1995, Honda CEO expanded the company by manufacturing aircrafts. The Honda Aircraft Company was an owned subsidiary of Honda. It was indeed an excellent idea for Honda's fortune, and by the end of 2001, Honda became the second largest automobile company in Japan, and by 2015, it was the 8th largest automobile manufacturer in the world. Honda kept on growing, and the company wasn't shy to spend more expenses on its ad campaigns for the international market. Honda retained their audience's attention by using ads like COG, the GRRR ad in 2001, and Impossible Dream in 2005. COG is still regarded as the most influential commercial of the 2000s. This engagement was proven to be fruitful for Honda, and sales increased exceptionally. Honda has shown that it can evolve and adapt to the times, while focusing on high-quality, eco-friendly consumer products. From its compressed natural gas Honda Civic GX, which was rated the cleanest burning internal combustion engine in the world, to its flexible fuel models, to its hybrid and electric models, Honda continued to invest in products for the next generation and kept on evolving. Now, Honda has assembly plants all around the world, Major plants are in the US, China, Canada, Europe, and Asia. These are the plants where the iconic Honda models such as the Fit, Civic, Accord, CR-Z, Insight, and 2 models of the Odyssey are manufactured. At the end of 2018, Honda had an annual revenue of a whopping $138 billion with a market cap of $50.4 billion. But every good story must face its own nightmares. We know now the story of a great car-producing company and all the efforts Soichiro Honda made in his lifetime to flourish that company. But he wasn't always successful in his attempts. In fact, from the day Honda decided to invest as a business up until now, Honda had faced its fair share of trials to reach the current position. When Soichiro came up with the business idea of making pistons, nobody wanted to invest in his business. Against the odds, he somehow managed to start producing good quality rings and began to fully focus on his manufacturing company. But his excitement was short-lived. They received a lot of orders for pistons, and only 3 of those pistons passed Toyota's high-quality standards. It was the first setback he'd faced in his career. Eventually, he worked his way up and passed Toyota's high-quality standards. Just when Honda's business of mass-producing pistons was really taking off, on the other hand, Japan was gearing up for the war. Honda lost its factory and workers when Japan entered World War II in 1941. Many of the workers were called for military service, which left Honda's company with many vacant positions. He was facing trouble with supply shortages and sourcing materials. He was so desperate during wartime that he started collecting fuel cans from enemy jets, thinking that he could use them for manufacturing. One day during World War II, a bomb was dropped on one of the Honda's factories, which looked like this was it for him, and he would lose his business. But he still didn't give up. And soon, after a year, another cruel twist occurred. Honda was still recovering from the bombing, and now his other factory was destroyed too, in an earthquake. It was so depressing for Soichiro, watching years of effort turn into piles of ash in mere seconds. And still, he wasn't a quitter. He was a hustler. He was a visionary. And as always, he rose to the top with his reliable products and perseverance. Today, Honda's facing a lot of difficulties. The main problem Honda is facing right now is the company has abandoned Soichiro's ideology of manufacturing only quality products. Due to the declining quality and increasing competition from other manufacturing companies and struggles to come up with new innovative ideas, the Honda motor is in a free-fall state of decline. In the last 10 years, some of the models Honda manufactured were a huge fail. One of these was a 2012 model of a Honda Civic. It was an utter disaster. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Similarly, in 2011, CR-Z, unlike its predecessor, the great CRX, was unable to meet the par. Honda used its best-selling cars and decided to give up on quality while using many of the same components as the previous models. This has also been affecting the sales of Honda, because in a day and age where companies are coming up with cars like Tesla, Honda is still creating models that look so similar to the previous one. Honda lacks in creativity and technology compared to other companies like Tesla and Kia. For Honda, it seems almost impossible to beat its competition in technology and sales, as you can see that Tesla and Kia are always providing something that's new and revolutionary. It's safe to say that today Honda is struggling to stay in the competition, while Honda fans are eagerly waiting for something that'll change the fate of Honda once and for all. Honda, by far, is one of the best in the history of Japanese car-producing companies. Soichiro Honda gave his sweat and blood to this company. The road to success wasn't easy, But he came up with the right solution for the right problem at the right time and faced all the setbacks. Soichiro's legacy has lived within Honda Motors, and to this day it's still one of the most successful and reliable manufacturing companies. The fate of Honda in the coming years is yet to be determined, but they have a history of flourishing through hard times, so they might work their way up and once again shine in the market as they used to before. Honda as well has all the potential and capabilities for it. The day's not far for Honda to earn its name back and compete against Tesla and Kia, and show the world once again who is the king of automobiles. If you felt the video, go ahead and show that appreciation by giving a thumbs up and maybe subscribing to our channel for some more stuff. See you in the next video.